Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host, and today I'm talking about SIS, sales, investment, and support. So, if that is of interest to you, let's go right on to the show.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time, and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing, or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer, or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Paula, the landscapers coach and your host. How the devil are you doing? I am good. I am just working through life and business and having a grand old time. I hope you are too. Now, today I want to talk about three things, and the acronym is SIS. It's sales, investment, and support, and how they can all help in your business. And this podcast episode has come from my current experience in my own business, and also I've been having a few feedback calls with the TLC community, and we've been having various discussions around all three of these actually that have made an appearance. I wanted to come on and just cover these things because I think in any business, particularly in your landscaping businesses, this can be really important. So let's cover the first one first. Let's cover sales. Now, as you guys know, if you've been around these parts for a while, my background is in sales. So I have always been working within sales as a job. I used to sell gym memberships, which is very much my sort of thing. I used to sell advertising space in a magazine back when magazine advertising spaces were in demand. I've basically worked customer service desks, working in various shops. So I've been in sales for a long time, and I've always been okay with the fact that when you run your own business, you are the salesperson. Most people don't always feel comfortable selling. I don't always feel comfortable selling either. So we all have off days or you don't feel like it. But essentially, sales is the lifeblood of your business. And I'm not saying you have to hard sell, but you do have to make sure that when you get in front of the right clients, which is a completely different conversation. So essentially, we are talking about ideal clients here. So when you are getting in front of your ideal clients that are ready to buy your services, you need to make sure your sales pitch is good. And I'm not talking about the old school salesman where, you know, if you remember Anglian and things like that, where they used to say, here is the price, it's £30,000, but if you buy today, we'll do it for £3,000. But this ends today. You've got 1 hour to decide, sort of thing. I'm not suggesting that. But on one of my conversations with one of the TLC community, we were discussing how you sell high-end services to clients. Now, the first thing is that you have to be in front of the correct clients. And there's lots of ways you can make sure you're doing that, from making sure you're vetting them on the initial call, charging for site visits so that you're not wasting your time. So you're weeding out completely the time wasters here. It's making sure that you've attracted them through your marketing and that you are showcasing the kind of projects that they're going to want to have done on their house. It's all of that first, and then you come to the initial consultation and the pitch. And it was interesting because this guy, Dean, hello, Dean, if you're listening, he was saying that one of the major things that changed his sales pitch was when he started explaining to clients that they could only have 2 out of 3 things with him. And it was saying there are 3 elements to a project. You've got service, you've got quality, and price. You can't have all 3. So which 2 do you want to choose? And by doing that, it was a moment of genius, actually, when he was saying to me, because I was like, oh my God, yes, why haven't I thought of this? And essentially, you are saying to your client, being quite brazen about it, are you willing to sacrifice quality or service to gain a lower price? If you are in front of your ideal client, they're going to say no because they want the service and the quality. And if you are that company that delivers on service and quality, but you are a higher price, you should be a perfect match. But it's really important that you highlight that to them and do not be afraid. And I think that was a really key conversation we had, because when I don't do the sales pitches, when I go, because I don't go and see the clients and measure up, that's down to Mike. But essentially, it is really reiterating why you are expensive, because you are a high quality company and you deliver a really great service. And you do have to back this up. So you do have to back this up with proven facts. So you need to show them your client testimonials, which say you're really good. You need to show them the kind of projects you've worked on, which are of an outstanding quality. For us, it's the awards we've won over the time that we've been going for our workmanship that is really important to highlight. But essentially, you are asking the client directly, do you want to compromise on two of the things that you're telling me you want, service and quality, in order to get a lower price? And I'm guessing, and he said the same, most people do not then want to compete on price with him or want a deal, because they want to know they are getting high quality and high service. Again, you do have to back this up. You do have to have the reputation. You do have to be talking to your ideal client, because if you are going to clients that are price driven, that tactic won't work anyway. And it's not really a tactic, it's basically just spelling it out for them. And the same goes for when you are on a conversation, initial call with them, which is my thing. I do all the initial calls to our inquiries, and it's about me restating that we are expensive in different ways. So that could be having the balls to ask the question, how much are you looking to invest in your garden or your outdoor space? It could be that I say our minimum gardens that we work on are £30,000. So then they immediately, I've only got 10, they're out. It could be that you charge for a consultation and you weed them out by we charge because we are the best. We have a lot of knowledge. We don't come out for free. Again, you can weed them out, but it's all about the initial inquiry, vetting them really well, and then basically stating the goddamn obvious, that you are great at what you do. Are they willing to pay for it or not? If they're not, get the hell out of there and move on. So that was the thing that we were discussing about sales. And I think a lot of us are scared to ask. I know a lot of people I speak to are scared to ask about budget, and I would suggest changing the word budget to investment. Just try that. And also the fact that we are still attracting the wrong clients into our businesses. I am still doing this 14 years on. I work on my client avatar, creating and crafting my ideal client. I look at different marketing strategies that are going to get there, and then I test different marketing efforts on them. And some bring great, perfect, ideal clients to me, others don't. And it's just a bit of a learning curve. But it's also about the sales technique, and you really need to think about your own sales technique and what you are willing to do, whether you are willing to feel a little bit uncomfortable asking and stating the obvious. So you've got to ask for the sale and not be afraid to. And that's the beauty of sales. The people that are not afraid will probably sell more. The people that are too within their comfort zone and they're too terrified of asking, then they won't generate the sales they need to run. Sales keeps your business alive. Do not underestimate how important it is to have a really good sales process and these sales techniques under your belt. I created a whole topic on this for TLC that I'm going to be looking to relaunch within the Landscaper Circle as a separate entity. If that's something you're interested in, drop me an email because I'll let you know when that is due to drop. But it's just really important that you do focus on the sales, because that is what's going to keep your business alive. The second thing that, dare I say it, keeps your business alive is how much investment you have. Sometimes investment is necessary in order to get over dips, humps, obstacles in the road. Sometimes you have to manage it better. Now, where do you think I'm going to suggest you start when you're looking at financials? I'm saying that you need to look at your figures and know your numbers inside out. You need to be running a cash flow forecast, and you need to be on top of your sales, because your sales affects your cash flow forecasting abilities and obviously your cash flow. And you need to start knowing your numbers. You need to really get under the skin of your business and understand everything. You need to make sure that you know what your profit margins are. You need to make sure that where the drains are in your business. So if you've got a really good business, but you're not, and you're putting your pricing, you've got the markups there, but your team aren't delivering on time, then that's going to basically impact on your profit. So you need to start really looking into your business and seeing what the numbers are, how many inquiries you need, what your conversion rates are like, where the problems are within your business that you can change, you can get better at, you can adapt in order to make your business more profitable and more healthy financially. And then you can look at ways, if you need to look at investment in order to grow, depending on your goals, depending on your finances, depending on your plans, will depend on whether you need investment or not, or whether you need to just change what you're bringing in and what you're spending out. So looking at the income and outgoings of your business. But essentially, sometimes we have to take investment. I've done it multiple times over the last 14 years for my business, particularly when we've decided to expand the business, when we've bought our own machinery, so diggers, dumpers, expensive tools, vans, when we've invested in people, in bringing more teams on board, when we've invested in yards, offices, that sort of thing. Sometimes I've needed to go and get the investment in order to carry on. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to try these things or to do these things. We wouldn't have been able to grow the business. So you need to think, once you've got under the skin of your business and understood the financials and the figures and the numbers, you then need to decide if you need investment and then look for ways of getting that investment. And there's lots of different options there. And the final thing I wanted to talk to you about, the S in SIS, the final S in SIS, is your support. Support is absolutely crucial. Now, as you all know, I completed my first bodybuilding competition a week, 2 weeks ago, was it? Nearly 2 weeks ago now. And the support I had around me was second to none. And that helped me not only achieve what I wanted to achieve, which was to step on stage. It was also afterwards, when your mind is gone. I didn't place, so I've got lots to work on. And there was an element that my mindset would dip and I would feel very unencouraged, uninspired, and go into a downward spiral. Now, I have the support of various people in my life, and it comes back to that old adage, who do you surround yourself with? Because that is really important. Now, I have friends and I have family that have supported me with coming out of the competition and going into another prep, because I've got another competition at the end of the month. I've got the support of my coach, who is there to tweak my food, my training, and be there on the end of the phone when I'm having a wobble. And I've also got various other coaches around me. My business coach, Corey, helps me keep working on and focusing on the business when I've got other things as well going on, because that's life. We've all got multiple things that we need to focus on. So really, we need to reach out and get the support. When I was chatting to a couple of the TLC community on these feedback calls, they were saying, I need you in my life. I need you to help keep me on track. I need you to help keep me accountable. And that's, dare I say, that is what humans need. Sometimes we feel so overwhelmed or so alone running our own businesses and trying to get towards these goals we set ourselves, but we've got no one to help us, or we've got no one there that can support you. And that's what I'm here for. I am that support system should you need it. I've just sent over a couple of proposals to people that require this support in their life, and it would be great to work with them, because I know once you have good support around you, then you will achieve so much more than if you're trying to go it alone. For 14 years, for the first, I don't know how many years, I did it on my own, and it was hard. It was so hard. I had no one to bounce ideas off apart from my husband, so it was just me and him. And I had no idea if what I was doing was right or wrong. I had no one to ask, and I had no one there to support. We didn't have the children at the time, so we had a lot more time to be able to work on the business and that side of things. But we didn't have anyone that we could bounce ideas off. We didn't have the money to invest in a coach. Now, the thing that changed was when I did begin to invest in a coach, even when I couldn't afford it initially, even when I did begin to invest, things began to change because you have someone outside of your business who can give you feedback on your business from an outside perspective, someone who's unattached. You also have someone that you can bounce ideas off and they can say, that is a ridiculous idea, do not do it. Or they are your biggest cheerleader and they push you on. They can set you plans. So they can say, these are your goals. Let's set an action plan. Here's step 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what you need. What do you need from me? I can, as a coach, we provide it. And then you move forward. I think I've said the story before when I had my first mentor and I didn't have a cash flow, yet I was looking to expand and get a yard space. I was buying this house that we live in now. So it was 10 years ago. And he said, can you afford it? And I said, I have no actual idea. What do you mean? Can I afford it? There's some money in the bank. He said, yeah, but can you afford it? And I said, I don't know. How would I know? And he said, do you have a cash flow? And I said, what is a cash flow and why do I need one? And that was the start of that journey into knowing my numbers and knowing the financials in business in order to be able to plan for different growth periods. And as a business that's been running for 14 years, my business has gone up and down. We're in a downward phase, as in not a downward phase for work. We are reducing overheads and staff and changing the model of our business at the moment. So we've been through big growth phases where we've had yards, offices, 15 staff, a fleet of vehicles, and we're now going back to a smaller team, but looking to increase profit, increase profitability, and work on very selective projects so that we're not running around like headless chickens doing everything. We work with selected ideal clients on selected projects that will take us through and make the money that we need to make in order to have a profitable business and a really good life, because ultimately that is the goal, isn't it? And yeah, this mentor 10 years ago was the one that changed my life in that respect and was able to help me see how I could make really good thought out decisions in my business. It also helps when you are going for investment, if you need that for that money injection. If you've got a cash flow forecast, you can send that as part of your business plan so that anyone looking at it, banks, funding places, you've got that there to show what you expect to utilize that money for and what you need it to grow, why you need to grow, why you need the investment, and what you're going to do with it going forward. So getting support is so important, and do not wait until you can afford it. Do it when you need it. That's the key. When you are at a pain point and you feel that you need someone to help guide you through, to help build your business with you, to help be your biggest cheerleader, but also be the one to kick you up the bum when you need it, then you need to invest in some support systems, coach, mentor, whatever it might be. So think about who you have got around you supporting you at the moment. Think about your finances and your numbers and what investment you might need or might not, or how you can get more out of your existing income. And look at your sales processes, look at how you pitch, look at how you vet people, and think of sales as the lifeblood of your business, because this is truly the truth. And so that is it from me today. If you need any help and support, I am always here. I am the Landscapers Coach. I work only with landscapers and garden designers in building their businesses, your business, to what you want it to be. So if you are interested in working with me, I have a few slots open at the moment and available. Just drop me an email, call, or DM. But other than that, I will see you again next week for another episode of the Limitless Landscapers Podcast. Ciao for now, guys.